But first, how about this? Japan used a supercomputer to figure out if there was any reason to wear double masks, like 2 surgical masks or 2 cloth masks, or instead of 1.
Okay.
And I can actually make it real quick for you. They pretty much found out it's not worthwhile to wear 2 instead of 1. Have you ever done this? Have you worn 2 before?
I literally read a story that it did help quite a lot.
No, I know. And then that's why they did this study, because people were suggesting these findings in part contradict recent recommendations from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention that 2 masks were better than 1 at reducing a person's exposure to coronavirus. So you have the, but of course, Will, in this thing has been full of how many contradictions?
Yeah.
It's been part of this whole thing. Everything's a contradiction. But anyway, it depends how much you like the Japanese supercomputer simulations. It's up to you.
Sure.
If you like that a lot, you go with that one. What they found is the flow of virus particles through either 1 mask or 2 masks, if they were your typical non-woven material mask, was not a huge difference. 85% effectiveness in blocking particles with a single surgical mask when worn tightly around the nose and face. Adding a polyurethane mask on top boosted the effectiveness to just 89%. So relatively statistically insignificant, relatively. Wearing 2 non-woven masks isn't useful because then the air resistance builds up and causes leakage around the edges. So if there's too much mask material, then what can happen? You have too much pressure on the inside. When you exhale, it just goes this way instead. So it's all about the right fit, right materials. They say the performance of double masking simply does not add up. That's the researchers led by Makoto Subakura. In general, professional grade N95 masks were the best in protecting against infection, followed then by non-woven masks, then cloth masks, and finally polyurethane types, the study showed. So whatever, contradictions, you decide for yourself what you want to do. We already knew those N95s were the real deal, but I guess reach for what you got. Do as you please.